Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Korlig with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Well, wasn't that special, that whole story. Thank you for watching part one, assuming you did. If you haven't, please go watch part one before you watch this video, before you watch the actual unboxing. I talk all about the Dreamcast independent scene and new games and stuff, and I highly recommend you go check that out so you understand more of the context behind this video. And again, in case you didn't watch the other part or you refused to watch the other part, it was shot as the two-part was shot as one video with the intention of being one video. So please forgive any inconsistencies in anything I say or reference to the other video that isn't in this part. So that's all, and thank you, and enjoy the unboxing. And a story, because I always have a story. So let's go ahead and talk about this box, which again, if you're that first story I know I do and you didn't like it, again, you can skip to the time and go and just see the actual unboxing. But this is the story behind how this box ended up in my possession. Okay, so in 2009, I ordered what's in this box. Take a second. 2009. Almost 4 years ago, September 2009, I ordered a t-shirt from Red Spot Games. And the reason I ordered it, if you'll notice, a lot of those games actually came out a few years ago. You know, not too many of them have come out recently. Gunlord was the only one that came out recently. So the Dreamcast independent scene was a bit bigger a few years ago, and unfortunately has lost a lot of steam, but like I said before, is kind of coming back this year, which is awesome. And I believe, like I said, Stormwind is going to kick that off supposedly later this month. But yeah, it was bigger a few years ago, and I really wanted to support Red Spot Games because they're one of the only guys left in the game. You know, they're one of the only few dudes who are still making games for the system. Really, all you've got left are the guys I mentioned. You've got Red Spot Games, Neo Geo Dev Team, HuCast, and theoretically, anyway, you've got Goat Games. And I guess, well, you got Watermelon. There's the guys who made Pure Solar, but that's it. That's all you got left. You don't have Sega. You don't have Capcom. You don't have any of those guys. This is what you've got left to work with. And they all are pretty good studios and development teams. And I thought, well, I wanna keep this going for as long as I possibly can. I have to do my part of it. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna buy a t-shirt from them. Because they had put out this awesome looking t-shirt. And I was like, wow, I really want to get that. That's really cool. I'm happy to support them, and I'll get a brand new t-shirt. It'll be great. So I placed this order in September of 2009. Now, as I did say earlier, they're based in Germany. So when they ship something to the States, it's going to take, a couple weeks to get here. A month goes by. No shirt arrives. And I'm like, well, okay, that's starting to get a little suspicious at that point. I'm going to contact them. So I get on their website, and I check my order, and it says processing. Now, processing can mean anything, but it doesn't mean shipped. It can mean it could mean anything. I mean, that's the problem with it. You don't really know exactly what they're saying when they say it's processing. So I contact them, and I get a response back that says, we're having some problems with it right now, but we're going to be shipping it out. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I waited another month. Nothing. Contact them again, and they're like, yeah, we're still having problems, getting the shirts, manufactured and everything, and if you want, you could just wait it out, or whatever you want to do. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, I'm not in any rush. So I decided to continue to be patient. And by now, it's about February of 2010, and I decided to check in on my order again, because that's nearly 6 months later. And I noticed that my order it says out of stock. It doesn't say shipped, it doesn't say processing anymore, it says out of stock. And I contact them about this, and I get no response. They never get back to me. And once every 2 weeks, I contact them. I keep sending them emails, and they never get back to me. Now, the thing people need to understand about Red Spot Games is that back then, they were not as well automated as they are now. They weren't as well organized. But back then, they just dealt with an individual email one-to-one kind of system. Now they have kind of a more computerized system, if that makes any sense. So it had occurred to me at that point, I had been ripped off. And I felt very bad. Not because I lost the money. That was actually kind of not that important. It was because it was something I solely paid for just to support them, to support their cause, to support something I really, truly, and passionately care about, the Dreamcast. And to be ripped off by that hurts. You know, that's bad. That makes you feel really bad about yourself. And so I didn't really know what to do. And I wasn't really making YouTube videos at the time. I might have talked about it if I had been. But I didn't really go public with it. I just kind of let it go. Now fast forward a little bit later that year, they're announced Stormwind. Alright, they're like, it's coming out, we're going to be making this new game. And I was like, wow, you know, I really want to order that. But I did just get ripped off by this, like, shirt situation, and I feel, I'm gonna put that, I'm gonna forget about that, and I'm gonna get this game. I'm gonna order it. And so I did. Because as much as I hated the situation with the shirt, I love the Dreamcast more. And so that's just why I decided I would order it. I would just let it go. And so now fast forward to about, I believe it was actually July of 2012. Fast forward all the way to that point. There was a bunch of people on the DreamcastTalk.com forums, which is an awesome forum. You guys should need to totally go check that out for Dreamcast news. That place kicks ass. I post on there all the time too. It's great. I love that place. There's a thread there about Stormwind. And a bunch of people were starting to express concern about the fact that we hadn't really seen any new updates with Stormwind in at least like a year at that point. And you know, what had happened, we all had paid for it, and it was just gone. We hadn't heard much about it. And I kind of thought about my shirt situation. I thought, I got no positive news to reinforce that with. So I just kind of didn't say anything. Until Red Spot Games themselves saw this thread, and they decided to create an account and kind of, you know, squash the problem in, you know, with everybody's, you know, concerns, which is understandable. That's normal procedure. They're like, no, guys, we're still very active on this. Here's some new updates, and they gave us all the new information, which was really cool of them. Because, you know, they're just a couple of guys making games. We tend to misunderstand. We tend to think like, they're a big company, you know, they must have tons of teams of people on this. It's got to be like 5 or 6 dudes who are just like working in their free time to make this. That's all it really is. So you got to be patient with it. They don't have a whole lot of money to work with, and they definitely don't have a whole lot of resources and people and personnel to get this kind of thing done. So you got to exercise some patience. That's what I do. But anyway, so they contact everybody and kind of, you know, calm everybody down. And I think like, wow, they created an account on this forum. I'm going to bring up the shirt thing. I sent them a private message in which I was going to explain my whole story. And I went onto the website, which I hadn't logged into in like 2 years. And I was going to get my order number for this whole shirt thing. And I was going to bring up the whole story. But my order was erased. And that instantly became very worrisome. Because what does that mean? You know, not only do I not have the order number at that point, but then what does it say that they would go out of their way to delete it? It doesn't say anything good. But I thought, wow, you know, how am I going to fix that? And then I thought, oh, all right, I've been using the same email for that span of time, so I went back and found my old email address, and I got the original order number, and I just included that, and I included the PayPal transaction ID, which I still had, and I gave them all this information and explained it, and I sent that to them in July of 2012. No response. And I was like, okay, that doesn't really surprise me. Now fast forward all the way to, I believe it was early March of this year, so a little over a month ago, maybe just a month ago. I'm on the Dreamcast Talk forums, and some people were saying, hey man, Red Spot Games sent me an email. They're saying Stormwind's coming out later in late April, which I believe is April 24th, I think. Yeah, they're going to start shipping. And a few people started saying that, and other people started saying, well, I haven't received an email. What's up with that? And I thought, I haven't received that email. And given my history with them, I thought, that's not bad. You know, or that's bad. I want to get more. I want to get more information. I want to make sure everything's okay. So I finally decided I'm going to go public with this. I said, you know, why I was concerned, and then I explained the shirt thing. If he's watching, I want to thank a user named CD Ages who posts there, because he did more for this than anyone else. He was really like, wow, you know, that's messed up, that this whole thing with a shirt, that's ridiculous that this would happen. And he was just, you know, he was adamant about getting that situation fixed, and he was asking me like, why wouldn't you support them? Why wouldn't you just say, you know, the hell with them and never buy their stuff again? And as I explained there, and I'll explain here, I love the Dreamcast too much to have any personal gripe with anyone who's still willing to make games for it. Now, some people may see that as ridiculous, but that's who I am, and that's just how I feel. I just feel that I really, really like the Dreamcast. I really care about getting new games for it, because it is a special console, that it's really just sad that it ended the way it did. And to keep it alive as long as we can, you know, we should, because it's just a great console. It's an awesome video game system. And to get new games is fantastic. So I want to help anyone who's willing to make new games for it. So that's basically what I said, is that I love the situation. I love the console more than I hate that situation. And him and a few other people were like, wow, you know, kudos to you, man. So whatever. I go to bed that night and I wake up and there's a flood of more people who are saying basically the same thing. They're like, wow, that sucks, you know, but that's awesome of you to be like that. And then the post I got that I was not expecting was from Red Spot Games. They read mine and were like, wow. Because they actually never post on that forum. You know, when they created their account, they had like 3 posts in like 2012 in July when they did it. This was only like their 5th one. They never use it. And they said like, wow, we have never heard of this situation, because they have different people working there now. And they have a different computerized system now. Which explains, by the way, why my order would have been erased. Because when they went off of the old system and onto the new one, they assumed the transaction had been in some way handled, although it was not. So it was basically lost in the cracks. So anyway, they contacted me through that forum and through the private message, and were just profusely apologetic. And they said, okay, go to our website, open up a what they call a ticket, where you basically explain your situation and they'll get back to you, and that ensures that it's in their system and that someone will definitely handle it. And I tell you, they could not have been happier to help me. They were incredibly polite, and they were so sorry that this had happened. And if they're watching, I apologize for how long this took to get around to, but I do want to say thank you for ultimately fixing this, and I will continue to support you, and I really hope that everyone out there still does. This was a rough patch. Yeah, it shouldn't have happened, but we did fix it. We've moved past it, and I really look forward to their future releases, and of course Stormwind, which is supposedly right around the corner. And by the way, they did confirm that my copy of Stormwind is all set and will be shipping when the others do. So that's the story on what this is, how this got here, and how I took 4 years, almost 4 years, to get this package finally in my possession. But here we go. That took forever, didn't it? I'm sorry, but I hope that you didn't fall asleep during it. But here we go. Now it's finally time to open this up. Now it's got tape on it that is in German, which I can't possibly understand. And yeah, let's go ahead and cut into it. Maybe see if I can rip this off here. Yeah, let's just do that. Scissors sit there the whole time and end up doing nothing. Don't you guys love when that happens? I always keep you in suspense. Okay, tape, throw that to the side. Now, open up just like this. Flap up. Now, first here we got a bunch of stickers. Really neat stickers. Rush Rally Racing sticker saying that it's on the Wii for the WiiWare. More Rush Rally Racing stickers. Some little ads for random things. These are kind of cool, although I don't really know what they are. Yeah, just more stickers and postcards and stuff. I'm gonna look at that in a second. They sent me. Here we go. This is not the shirt I ordered. They felt so bad about this whole thing. Not only did they give me what I ordered, but they also gave me things I didn't order. They just gave me some freebies because they felt bad, and I want to thank them for that, because they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do any of this. They could have just refunded the money, or they could have just let it go. But I'm really glad that they just wanted to make good on this. I appreciate that. So this is the shirt that they gave me that I did not order. This one is just a freebie. This is the Prestige shirt. Yeah, so there you go. It's a blue shirt, has this crown thing, and then in the center it has a Dreamcast. This is pretty neat, and on the back it says Dreamcast Scene, and it is a large shirt. Then, on top of that, that's random, they gave me a little bit of candy. That's neat. That's neat and nice of them. Put that away. They included a bonus game that I obviously did not order, but they were willing to give it to me. This is a copy of Rush Rush Rally Racing. Now, as you know, I already have Rush Rush Rally Racing, but this is a tiny variant that they did later that I never ordered. Probably because of the shirt situation, honestly. And it wasn't a new game, so I figured it wasn't that big of a deal to not order it. But I did want it, and I thought it would be really cool to have. The only difference, as you can see, is the cover art is nighttime oriented as opposed to daytime, and that's really all it is. It's just got slightly different cover art, but I'm really happy to have it because it was technically a little hole in my Dreamcast collection, and it's sealed. Why don't I just go ahead and do a mini little quick unboxing of that, and I promise there won't be any other additional stories about, well, this came out this year and blah blah blah. You don't need any more info. I think you guys are set. So that's the front there. Side, there we go. Game disc, and there's our manual. And the manual has the same cover art as the original release, in case anybody's curious. And on the back, open that up, it has stickers. The same stickers that are in the other one, and then this is the bonus soundtrack. So, thank you to Red Spot Games for that one, because again, they didn't have to do that. That was just really nice of them to do that. And of course, it'll be really cool to now have this in the independent game collection. And now we get onto it. The thing that I ordered 3.5 years ago that is finally here, finally in my possession, and I can't wait to try it out and just have it. This is the Dreamcast shirt, the Dreamcast Scene, and it is a really neat shirt, and it's really awesome to have it. I don't know if Dreamcast Scene still uses this logo. I think they do. The Dreamcast like that, with that cool little black marking under there. It says Dreamcast Scene. It's got the website and everything, and it's a good color. And this is a large. So yeah, there you go. 2 shirts. Copy of Rush Rush Rally Racing DX Nighttime Edition. Bunch of stickers, bookmarks, and even a little bit of candy. So, thank you guys for watching, and I know this story sounds a little bit like a horror story when it comes to dealing with things like this, but please, go out and support the independent community. Go out and support independent Dreamcast games. Support Red Spot Games. Go out and get Sturmwind. Get all of the ones that are in the Dreamcast Junkyard's video, all the new ones. Whichever ones you can, cherry pick if you want, pick only the ones you like, but support it if you like the Dreamcast, because there's only so much time where this is going to continue to happen, where we're going to be fortunate enough to get new titles. And so that's really all I have to say on it, and I apologize for how long this obviously was. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.